ancient land of Israel, a great battle was unfolding in the Valley of Elah. On one side stood the Israelites, led by their king Saul. On the other, the formidable Philistine army, with their champion Goliath towering over them. Goliath was no ordinary warrior. He was a giant, clad in heavy armor, his presence both terrifying and imposing. Every day, he would step forward from the Philistine ranks and challenge the Israelites, shouting with a voice that boomed like thunder, "Choose a man to come down and fight me." Goliath would roar, "If he defeats me, we will become your servants. But if I win, you will serve us." His challenge was met with fear and silence. The Israelites were intimidated, and no one dared to accept the challenge. The days stretched on, and the shadow of Goliath's challenge loomed over them. One day, a young shepherd named David arrived in the camp. David was not a soldier, but a mere boy who had come to bring supplies to his older brothers who were serving in the army. As he entered the camp, he heard the familiar taunts of Goliath. "What's happening?" David asked his brothers, his eyes wide with curiosity. "It's Goliath," his older brother explained. "He's a giant who challenges us every day. No one is brave enough to fight him." David's face lit up with determination. "I'll fight him," he declared boldly. His brothers and the soldiers laughed at the idea of a mere boy taking on the giant. But word of David's bravery reached King Saul, who was skeptical but intrigued. Saul summoned David to his tent. "You're just a boy," Saul said, scrutinizing him. "Goliath is a seasoned warrior. How can you hope to defeat him?" David stood tall, his eyes resolute. "I have protected my father's sheep from lions and bears. The Lord who saved me from them will also save me from this Philistine." Saul, though doubtful, saw the fire in David's eyes. He reluctantly agreed to let David fight, but offered him his own armor. David tried it on, but found it too heavy and cumbersome. He decided instead to face Goliath with only his sling and 5 smooth stones. As David approached the battlefield, Goliath laughed at the sight of the shepherd boy. "Am I a dog, that you come at me with sticks?" Goliath mocked. David's response was calm and confident. "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel. Today, he will deliver you into my hands." David selected a stone from his pouch and placed it in his sling. With a practiced flick of his wrist, he sent the stone flying through the air. It struck Goliath squarely in the forehead. The giant staggered, then fell to the ground with a thud, his arrogance silenced. David ran to the fallen giant, took Goliath's sword, and used it to decapitate him, ensuring the victory. The Philistines, seeing their champion defeated, fled in panic. The Israelites erupted in cheers, their fear replaced by jubilation. King Saul, amazed by David's faith and courage, declared him a hero. "David, you have shown great courage. You shall be honored." David, though celebrated, humbly acknowledged the true source of his strength. "It was not by my might, but by God's power that I prevailed." And so, the story of David and Goliath became a legendary tale of how faith and courage could overcome even the most daunting challenges. It reminded all who heard it that with trust in God, even the smallest among us could triumph over giants.